Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's everything you need to know this rush hour of February 19, Wednesday. I'm Riza Diaz. Kickstarting today's rush with the Philippine government partially lifting the travel ban on Hong Kong and Macau. The Foreign Affairs Department says this only covers OFWs returning for work, as well as those leaving for study and those with permanent residence there. Interagency authorities say these exemptions are still subject to certain procedural formalities. Now, over in Japan, 8 more Filipino crew members of the Diamond Princess cruise ship is tested positive for COVID-19. They were immediately brought to Japanese hospitals to undergo treatment. This brings the total number of COVID-positive Filipinos aboard the ship to 35. The 14-day quarantine period for those unaffected by the disease is ending today. But the Japanese government has yet to announce the disembarkation procedures for the rest of the passengers who are still aboard the vessel. In Hong Kong, the Philippine Consulate General has confirmed that another OFW has tested positive for COVID-19. Authorities have already sent a team to check on the patient's condition. With this, the total number of infected Filipinos aboard has climbed to 37. And as of this morning, over 75,000 people have tested positive for COVID-19 worldwide. The death toll is now at 1,875. Now, among those who died is Liu Ziming, another doctor who is leading the fight against a deadly coronavirus in Wuhan, China. Now, on the bright side, over 13,000 patients have already recovered from the disease. Here in the Philippines, 6 more people are under investigation for the new coronavirus. However, only 137 people are still in various hospitals across the country. Almost 400 people have been sent home. Cheaper medicines are within reach. That's after President Duterte signed the executive order setting a price on expensive drugs. Take note, though, this will take effect only 90 days from the president's signing. JC Cosico has the story.
70-year-old Teresita has been under medication for 10 years now due to hypertension. She spends around 10,000 pesos monthly for her maintenance medicines. But with her child also undergoing dialysis treatment, she sometimes skips on her meds.
Umiinom na lang ako ng tubig. Kasi narinig ko sa radyo, pag wala kang gamot, tubig ka na lang ng tubig.
But that may soon change. President Rodrigo Duterte inked Executive Order 104, which sets a price cap for 87 medicines. Drugs covered include those for hypertension, diabetes, cardiovascular, chronic lung and neonatal diseases, as well as major cancers. The list shall be posted in drugstores and pharmacies nationwide to inform the public.
With the limited ability of many Filipinos to support even their basic needs, how can they even pay for expensive medications which could amount to 5 million pesos to treat cancer, for example?
The EO will reduce costs by up to 58% from prevailing market prices, with senior citizen and PWD discounts still applicable.
On top of their senior citizen discount, meron pa silang MDRP. Okay, na mga halos kalahati ang mababawas. So doon talaga ramdam ang impact ng EO na ito.
The Pharmaceutical Healthcare Association of the Philippines vows to abide by the order, despite warning that manufacturers will suffer. Some pharmaceutical companies might also have no choice but to lay off some employees. But Duque assures them that there is nothing to worry about.
Sa volume, mababa yung kanilang kita, pero expanded ang volume. So pwede naman nilang mabawi yung kanilang profitability.
The DOH has also expressed readiness to import medicines in the event that manufacturers pull out of the market, something the agency hopes to avoid by working closely with drug companies. The order is expected to take effect 90 days from its signing. Violators will have to pay a fine ranging from 100,000 to 10 million pesos and face up to 15 years of imprisonment. For News 5, JC Cosico, we are One News.
Here are some of the day's biggest stories from the Philippine Star. Lieutenant Colonel Jovi Espenido has broken his silence on his supposed links to illegal drug trade. Without naming names, Espenido says some politicians and police officials were affected by his anti-crime crusade, prompting them to throw him under the bus. He adds that his inclusion in the narco list may be a result of the failed police intelligence.
Kung nakuha talaga na taga-saan, marami siguro number one, yung organization ng drug group. No? Tapos, yun ikaw, natandaan mo, nasa tayo ng mga polis sa Albuera. Wala man talagang ibang katibayan ba na involvement ko.
Former CPP Chairman Rodolfo Salas, alias Commander Bilog, was arrested in Pampanga yesterday morning. Salas, along with at least 30 other communist leaders, have been charged with 29 counts of murder in connection with the Inopacan massacre in Leyte back in the 1980s. The PNP said Salas did not resist and peacefully surrendered, but his daughter cries foul, saying eyewitnesses attested that no warrant was shown to his father. Meanwhile, former Senator Antonio Trillanes has posted bail for charges of conspiracy to commit sedition over the Ang Totoong Narco List videos. Fresh from an overseas trip, Trillanes posted a 10,000 peso bail at the Quezon City Metropolitan Trial Court, Branch 138. Trillanes insists that the charges are just part of the administration's moves to silence the opposition.
Itong huling kaso na ito ay panibagong proof or patunay dito sa continuing political persecution na ginagawa nitong Duterte administration laban sa mga kritiko at political opposition. Well, pagbaba nitong mga to sa pwesto, yung mga pasiga-siga na yan, mark my words, magtatakbuhan yan. Yan mga yan hindi sanay sa labang diretso, ano? Kaya ganyan.
House lawmakers are seeking more input from executive agencies in the crackdown on illegal pogo companies in the country. Meanwhile, the Bureau of Immigration has made a first move, sacking 5 of its personnel allegedly involved in the so-called Pastillas scheme. Ria Fernandez has the story.
Pay or go home. This was the stern statement of ABS-CBN Party List Representative Eric Yap to Philippine offshore gaming operations or POGO companies evading taxes. Yap's Committee on Games and Amusements on Tuesday tackled the issues hounding POGOs. These include criminal activities such as kidnapping, prostitution, and tax evasion cases. The Chinese-run firms owe the government around 50 billion pesos of unpaid taxes.
Sa amin, pay or go home. Pay or go home. Pag hindi kayo nagbayad, uwi na ho kayo. Kasi kaya ho kayo nandito dahil sa negosyo. Kumikita kayo, dapat kumita rin ng gobyerno.
However, the Bureau of Internal Revenue skipped the hearing at the lower chamber. The agency's presence is now being sought at the next hearing in March.
Gusto natin malaman sa BR, number 1, sino-sinong company yon? Anong basis ng 50 billion? Ano ba yan? VAT, withholding tax, or penalties? Wala tayong nakuha details sa kanila dahil wala sila dito.
Otherwise, the committee wants to cite its officials in contempt. Meanwhile, the Bureau of Immigration assured lawmakers that personnel found to be involved in the Pastillas scheme will be penalized. 5 officials have since been relieved following alleged links to the modus. Malacanang also said that the government is ready to take action on the alleged irregularities within the POGO industry.
Because the record of this administration speaks for itself. It never turns a blind eye on anything that concerns governance.
The House panel now suggests securing an affidavit from the person behind the Pastillas scheme video expose to help authorities with their investigation. For News 5, Ria Fernandez, We Are One News.
The Solicitor General is seeking to silence all those involved in its quo warranto petition against ABS-CBN through a gag order from the Supreme Court. Marlena Kaide with the details.
The Supreme Court on Tuesday received the Office of the Solicitor General's very urgent motion asking the High Court to issue a gag order against ABS-CBN. The order would prohibit parties and personalities or persons acting on the network's behalf from discussing the merits of the co-warranty petition filed against ABS-CBN's franchise.
The motion is basically asking the Supreme Court for the issuance of an order prohibiting both parties from engaging media and from issuing statements relative to the merits of the case.
Solicitor General Jose Calida alleged that ABS-CBN is engaged in propaganda to elicit public sympathy, sway public opinion, and influence the resolution of the case. Calida said this is a violation of the sub judice rule that restricts both parties of the case, witnesses, and the public, even lawyers and judges, to comment or reveal any information. In its motion, the Solgen enumerated instances when ABS-CBN allegedly violated the rule. Like in this video titled Co-Warranto Petition Laban sa ABS-CBN, Ano ang Ibig Sabihin? The video, which tackles the case, was posted online on February 14. Calida said it encourages unfair prejudgment. The Solgen also cited the pagbabalita ng DZMM binigyang pugay ng karaniwang Filipino video. Calida said the interviews were conducted from a few students, eliciting from them biased answers in favor of the network. Another video he mentioned is the pagtatalakay ng co-warranto versus ABS-CBN sa Korte sinimulan na, which is a report on the network's defense for its KBO operations. The SC was able to tackle the issue during Tuesday's unbanked session and gave ABS-CBN 5 days to comment on the motion.
Siyempre kailangan pakinggan ng korte yung both sides bago sila mag-act on this matter.
Malacanang backs the Solgen's move, saying such order is necessary as the case is still pending.
Kasi parang nagiging emotional ang issue on this particular topic. It's much ado about nothing. It's not about press freedom.
Panelo notes, however, that lawmakers who will conduct the inquiry on the issue will likely be exempted. For News 5, Marlene Alcaide, we are One News.
Despite the pending motion for a gag order, Senator Grace Poe insists the Senate probe into ABS-CBN's alleged violations will continue as planned. Ben Los Baños tells us more.
No gag order will stop the Senate from hearing ABS-CBN's franchise renewal, well, at least according to Senator Grace Poe. Despite Solicitor General Jose Calida's request for a gag order against ABS-CBN and concerned personalities from speaking about the co-warranto petition, the lawmaker is hopeful that the High Court will recognize the Chamber's mandate to hear the media giant's franchise.
Katulad ng mga ibang jurisprudence na lumabas, makikita naman na pinanigan ng Korte Suprema ang Senado na ipagpatuloy ang kanilang pagdinig.
But Poe admits the latest development might cause resource persons to keep their mouths shut.
Sa aking spekulasyon, ayaw talaga nila na magsalita ang mga may kinalaman dito. Hindi ba paano natin malalaman ang katotohanan kung hindi makakapagsalita yung mga yon?
The Senate originally set the franchise hearing on February 27th, but with the gag order, Poe now wants to conduct it earlier.
Kailangan din kami gumawa ng hakbang para naman maprotektahan din yung aming layunin dito.
Senator Joel Villanueva also questions the gag order.
I don't see any reason for the gag order to be implemented. Yung ating karapatan para makapagpahayag ng ating damdamin ay napakataas yan.
But for Senator Bato de la Rosa, who admits to leaning on the president's side regarding the network's franchise, the Solgen may have basis in filing a gag order against ABS-CBN.
May basis din siya. Dahil pag talo ang gobyerno, pagdating dyan sa public opinion, dahil ibig sabihin, nasa inyo yung media. You can shape the public opinion anytime you want.
The COP-turned lawmaker also questions if there are indeed 11,000 workers in ABS-CBN who will be affected.
Regardless kung ilan yan, what is 11,000 compared to the whole Filipino nation na matagal na sinamantalahan ng isang kumpanya kung talaga ma-prove yan sa hearing? na pinagsamantala ng sambayan ng Pilipino.
But for Senator Sonny Angara, whose wife works in the network, he is concerned with the thousands of workers that may lose their jobs.
We try to look beyond my wife and you think of the 11,000. When you take out 11,000 jobs from the economy, that's a problem, Problema yun.
Meanwhile, Senate Minority Leader Franklin Drilon believes that the SC cannot prohibit any person from appearing and testifying before congressional inquiries in aid of legislation. The petition, he says, cannot prevent the Senate from hearing the issues on ABS-CBN. Reporting for News 5, Mean Los Baños, we are One News.
Let's fast break now to Sports Rush. There will be no further delays in the FIBA Asia Cup 2021 qualifiers as Gilas Pilipinas match against Indonesia will push through on Sunday, February 23. This comes after FIBA ordered the Indonesia Basketball Association to continue hosting the qualifiers later this week amid the COVID-19 outbreak. In a letter addressed to IBA, FIBA explained that the Indonesian government focuses its travel restrictions to mainland China and has not forbidden mass gatherings. Now, therefore, the scheduled game against the Philippines and even South Korea team will proceed. Recall that the game between Gilas and Thailand, which was slated for February 20, was cancelled due to the virus outbreak. And that's how today is shaping up to be. Join us again next time for another round of Rush. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.